All right, welcome back, guys. We're going to look at the Sky Surfers and see how they stack up for RTA, see how they stack up in general. The model is really cool. I dig it. I like the look of it. I like the triangles. The giant gun is cool. The names are kind of boring, but that's okay. So this is John. Hello, John. First skill, absorbs attack bar by 15% with 50% chance. Chance goes up to 70% chance of a 15% absorb. Absorb's great. Minus 15 to them, plus 15 to you. Helps them cycle a little bit. Very, very nice first skill. Second skill, increases the target skill cooldown by 1 turn and absorbs the attack bar by 30% chance. The skill percentage chance goes up again to 75. In addition, decreases your skill cooldowns by 1 turn if you successfully increase the skill cooldown time. So, you attack, you cool them down. If you cool them down and absorb their attack bar, then you uncool yourself down. You heat yourself up. You cycle your own cooldowns a little bit better. This is on a 3-turn. It's kind of gambly, right? Because it's 75% chance. It's either great every time or it's bad 25% of the time. So a little bit of gamble, which is, I mean, you got to really want it, but not horrible. Not horrible. Yeah, it's a skill 2 with a gamble is like, I don't know. Because you might do it and nothing happens. It just attacks them, right? Which is like, I don't know about that. Skill 3, though, is where it's at. Plasma Bomb. Installs a bomb that goes off after 1 turn on one guy and 2 turns on everything else on a 4-turn cooldown. I like this a lot. This has kind of has a Sierra type vibe to it because she can detonate her own bomb. This is the same thing. It's a 1-turn bomb, so it will detonate. It just is you can't detonate it whenever you want. It'll detonate when they take a turn. So worse than Sierra because it can't get around cleanse. But it's the best bomber apart from Sierra, I think. I mean, there's arguments for maybe Light Cobalt, maybe Liebly, but this guy actually has his bomb blow up. The weakness of most bombers is you can't control the cleansing because you have 2 turns. They just wait, you know. This can put this bomb control on whatever would normally mess up a bomb, and then it'll go off. It might resist the stun, but that's okay. It would resist Sierra's stun in that case too. So I like this a lot. For things without immunity, it's pretty punishing. I think it's a method to deal with a lot of the current meta. I would consider this guy an RTA if I had him. You know, you've draft this guy with a Sierra, and suddenly you've got a big threat, a big AoE threat. Let's say they're trying to do something that doesn't have, you know, AoE cleanse or maybe only 1 cleanser. They try to counter draft you with like a Rika. You put this bomb on the Rika, and you're in pretty good shape, right? You controlled the Rika for 1 turn. So I like the look of John quite a bit. Leader skill is kind of silly, 55%. At least it's an RTA leader skill, and it's high. So you might find some use for it, but, I mean, why couldn't we have attack? Why couldn't we have accuracy? Speed? Like, the things that matter. Why couldn't we have them? We got, Maybe he's a little bit too good to have a good leader skill. I don't know. All right, blue one is Miles. First skill, absorb attack bar. Second skill, remove all beneficial effects with a 80%, scales up to 100% chance, and stuns with a 30%, which I assume scales up as well to what it would be, 40, 50% chance. So it's a single target, beneficial remove, stun on a 2-turn cooldown. Pretty nice. You get those last 2 skills in there, 2-turn cooldown, single target remove, and a stun. Kind of chains well with the bomber, the red one, if you have it. I don't know that that's the best combo, but it's a thing. All right, last skill, Jet Engine. Increase your attack speed by 5% up to 100% for each beneficial effect granted on the enemies and allies. So bring a shield set on this guy, I would say, because that gives you 4 beneficial effects, which is the equivalent of giving him 20 speed. His base speed is 105. With a shield set, I mean, unless I'm wrong, with the shield set, it's 125, right? Maybe even a little higher due to the way the percentages scale. So that's pretty solid. Give him a will set, and suddenly he's sitting at 130, you know, which is really, really nice for base speed. Give other people, you know what I mean? Like, if everybody in your team has a shield set, then suddenly Miles is zooming, you know? He's really booking it. So that's kind of nice. In addition, inflicts additional damage that ignores defense in proportion to your attack speed. So get him really zoomy. Do damage proportional to attack speed. From what I've seen, the scaling isn't amazing, which makes sense because that would just make him crazy if you could just nuke down like nobody's business. But, you know, it's kind of nice. It's a strip stun, doing a lot of damage, zooming around. There's some potential there. All right, Oliver, the wind one. This guy's got the attack speed lead. What's this one? Got defense. Yikes. But this guy's got the attack, which is pretty nice. 44. Not horrible. All right, first skill, same thing. Second skill, we've got the gambly chance, right? It's got the increases the cooldown, absorbs the attack bar. In addition, decreases your cooldown. So it's like, it's a gamble. 75. 1 in 4, it's awful. 1 in 4 times, every time you do this, you're going to be sad. And then the last one, Mega Impulse Gun. Attacks the enemy, increases the skill cooldown by 1, absorbs the attack bar by 50%. That's pretty nice, 50% absorb. That's 1 full turn denied / taken. If you increase the cooldown, the skill cooldown, increase the damage dealt by the enemy by 20% each, up to 100% whenever you use Mega Impulse Gun on your turn. So this is pretty bad in RTA, because what are the odds you're going to use Mega Impulse Gun enough times to scale up? Like, we don't use Christina. Friends don't let friends use Christina. We just don't. So what are the odds this is going to be great? I don't know. If I'm cooling stuff down, am I using Oliver or am I using Ganymede? Am I using Oliver or am I using Chunk Pung? You know what I mean? I think that those two questions should tell you a lot about Oliver and RTA. Maybe elsewhere, but probably not. So that's Oliver. Let's look at Daniel. He has got crit lead, 33% crit lead, and looking cool. All light-like. First skill is the same. Second skill is the gamble, which the more I read the skill, the less I like it. I don't want to gamble. I want a skill 2 on a 3-turn cooldown to do stuff. If I have an LD Nat 5, I want it to do stuff. You know? Yeah, that's what I want. Please let it do stuff. Make it not a gamble. Alright, skill 3, Quantum Explosion. Attacks all enemies to decrease their attack bar by 50%. So we've seen that one before. Except it's AoE. If the attack bar of an enemy becomes 0 and there's no more attack bar to be decreased, decreases the HP by the remaining amount of attack bar to be decreased. Okay, so here's my problem with this skill. If they have over 50% attack bar, this skill does not do any HP decreasing. It does attack bar stuff, but 50% attack bar is not good enough compared to everything else that does similar things. If it's under 50%, it does some damage, possibly 50% damage if it's right after they've taken a turn, but more likely in the 25% range, which is pretty good for AoE, but also terrible because there's way better options if you're using him as an attacker. So, gamble, kind of gamble. I think the light one is not great. I think it's going to need a buff if they want anyone to think it's worth anything. That's my take on that one. Dark one is Jackson, also looking awesome. We've got the accuracy lead, which is always welcome in RTA. Accuracy over resist all day, every day. It's just good. It's just really, really good. We didn't get a speed lead out of these guys, which is always a bit of a bummer because I would gamble on some of those trash skills with a speed lead, right? It's a speed lead, but they're stingy with speed leads. They know they disrupt the meta, so they don't give them to us too often. So that's the accuracy lead. Skill 1 is the same. Skill 2, attack the enemy, remove all beneficial effects, and stun with a 30% chance if you remove. So remove is guaranteed if you have the accuracy for it. Stun is 50-50, right? Okay, I mean, 50% single target stun with a single target strip. I mean, have you met Gianna? She's an LD Nat 5 too. She does way better. Like, way better. So much better. Gianna. This guy is the same as Gianna, just FYI. Okay. Yeah. Let's look at skill 3. Synergistic Effect. Increase your attack bar by 5% each whenever the attack bar of enemies and allies decrease. So it's the Tian Lang for attack bar decrease, right? Kind of cool. In addition, the increases the effect of attack bar increasing skills on all allies and enemies by 50%. Does not accumulate and does not apply to bosses. So this is great against what a lot of people like to run to counter Ragdoll, which is weird. They'll run a bar decreasing stuff, right? Like Chung Pung and stuff like that. Art Master Skill 1. They'll always be decreasing you, you know? Lauren, if anybody really played Lauren anymore. So they're decreasing you, but instead, everybody's boosting up, you know? You're boosting up when they're decreasing. What's neat is that if you bring increasing stuff, you get all the things you want. You know, increases the attack bar, increasing skill of all allies and enemies by 50%. Don't let them bring stuff. You bring stuff. He's tricky. You got to fit him right in there. When you look at it and you're like, huh, they're decreasing me and I'm increasing me. They're decreasing, I'm increasing, so boom, Jackson. I mean, for an LD Nat 5, it's kind of cool, but it's so specific. It's so specific. So, I don't know. He works well with Ragdoll as long as they don't bring oracles. and they bring lots of decreasing stuff. So kind of niche, different and neat, but I don't know. It doesn't scream, whoa. It's like, huh, maybe, which some of them are like, no. So, okay. That's where we're at on Jackson. So the monsters in general, I think the red one is currently the best. To me, I could see a place for the red one right away. The other one's a little bit situational, a little bit iffy. I'm not sure. I wish they were just a little bit stronger. I wish the skill 2s were guaranteed. That would be a legitimate threat. Anytime you see a monster where you look at him and you're like, I could just be okay and not do anything. Like 1 in 4 chance, I'm fine. I mean, that's a bit of an issue. So that is my take on the Surfer fellas. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you agree, disagree, let me know. And if you found a use for them that I didn't consider or I misinterpreted something, also please let me know. And I will catch y'all in the next video. Take care, everybody.